What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this video we are diving into the light novel, Advance of Zeta, under the flag of Titans. In this episode, we learn about Eliard Hunter, who was a part of the Titans test team during the Grips conflict. In UC 0088, he is in jail and is convinced of multiple crimes that will ultimately lead to his death. Luckily, his attorney, Comrade Morris, learns more about Eliard as we learn what crimes he committed. So let's get into this. February 8th, UC 0088. Lieutenant Junior Grade Eliard Hunter is being attacked in his Gaplant Huayru. The ORX 005 Gaplant TR5 Huayru is a variant of the Gaplant TR5 that fixes the movable shield binders that were designed mainly for new types. This replaces it with booster shields. It also has an enhanced V-fin sensor. The mobile suit carries a long blade rifle, which is mounted on the underside of the machine in mobile armor form. When used with the Hududu 2, it can function as a mobile armor and mobile suit on a similar level to the Dendrobium. These names all come from a language made by rabbits in an adventure book from the 70s. Tomino trolled the executives back in the day, and it was funny, but now would embolden new writers to create even dumber names. Some of you people say Tomy yes, but I say Tomy no. This unit also uses the arms of the Psycho Gundam. It is equipped with a beam cannon, a beam saber, a spread beam, an eye-field generator, and a sub-arm. His thrusters have run out. Minovsky particle dispersion increases as he can't get a hold of his comrades. He sees a beam saber flash before a ball of fire is set ablaze. Eliard doesn't know if it is enemy or ally. 20 days prior, the AUG had gained control of Grips 2 Colony Laser. A three-way battle takes place between the Titans, the AUG, and Axis. A Salamis Kai space cruiser, the Izmir, sinks. This is Eliard's ship. His home is no more. He has nowhere to go and feels despair. Something latches onto him. It is Commander Wes Murphy and another Gaplant Huayru. He calms Eliard and tells him to fall back to the Aswan in the rear. Eliard is worried about his teammates Carl and Audrey, but there is nothing he could do as his mobile suit is useless. He needs to fall back. While heading back, the commander mentions that Char may be the one piloting the golden mobile suit. He always wanted to go up against him. They make it to the Aswan deck, where Eliard needs help opening his hatch. The deckhands are concerned his Gaplant reactor is going to explode. They decide to dump it. Eliard looks over to see Commander West being wheeled out. He was completely soaked in blood, but he still had the energy to give Eliard a thumbs up. For the first time in a while, he felt exhausted. May UC 0088. Eliard Hunter is taken from a detention cell to an interrogation room with a one-way mirror. Sitting across from him is a man with the rank of Lieutenant Commander. The man says to leave them and to turn off the cameras. He is Comrade Morris, his EFF-appointed defense attorney. He is being court-martialed. Eliard asks, where should he begin? Conrad tells him to start from when he was first assigned to the Titans up until the final battle. Eliard says that he is proud of the Titans and he did what he did for the Titans and believes he did nothing wrong. The Lieutenant Commander says, let's begin. December, UC 0083. Eliard receives new orders and a new promotion to Lieutenant Junior Grade. While in the middle of training outside of the Earth sphere, he gets word that he will join the ranks of the Titans. He went to the Naval Academy and soon became an ensign, where he was assigned to the Earth's Orbital Fleet Patrol operations and helped during the Delaz conflict. Eliard shares the anti-Xeon remnant sentiments that most of EFF felt during this time. He reported to a base in North America where he received his Titan's uniform. He starts to feel a bit of imposter syndrome, but then gets a great sense of pride. He was assigned to an experimental mobile suit team where he met his commanding officer, Wes Murphy. Wes fought during the One-Year War and the Delaz conflict. He meets his teammates, Lieutenant Junior Grade Carl Matsubara and Audrey April. To quote the writer, she was a female officer who could sport a short cut and still look good. Someone projecting a little passive-aggressive bitterness in their writing. If one thing this Japanese robot book is going to have, it's going to have anti-short hair sentiments, damn it. They all tease each other and get along relatively quickly. Carl pilots the GM Sniper 3, the RGM-79 SR GM Sniper 3. is a modified version of the GM-Kai high mobility ground type and converted it into a sniper unit. It has a visor for high performance optical targeting. Only one of these was assigned to the Titans test team. It has two different configurations. The medium range support type or cannon pack increases the firepower. This uses shell weapons instead of beam tech to reduce strain on the generator. The high mobility type utilizes a Hazel backpack with added GM3 thrusters. It also adds a prototype 240mm beam launcher to the armaments. Other weapons include a beam saber, 60mm Vulcans, a shield, and the 110mm bazooka. Commander Murphy pilots a GM Quell with a commander head to test if it brings down enemy morale. He calls it Hazel. The RX-121 Gundam TR-1 Hazel is a test unit piloted by Wes Murphy and the Titans test team. This is a GM Quell with an RX-type Gundam head. This test unit is designed to see if the Gundam look instills fear into Zeon. It has a new backpack and improved leg thrusters. Its dual shield boosters contain a lot of high thruster propellant and is the evolution of the Sturm boosters. It has a full armor configuration which allows the unit to add disposable heavy armor, but the added weight slows it down. The high mobility form equips 3 shield boosters, one on each arm and one on the movable booster pod attached to its enhancement backpack. They head out and spot 3 Gelgoogs carrying Zaku machine guns. They have found Zeon remnants. Wes tells Carl to fire the long-range beam rifle. The two teams engage in battle. Eliard is in a GM Kai, also known as the GM C-type or late type. This is his first real battle with the Titans. He tails a Gelgoog and is able to take it out. He notes how quickly it went. The other 2 Gelgoogs are following Wes. Carl tells him to back up the commander, but he doesn't need backup as he was able to take out one on his own. One Gelgoog left. Eliard doesn't need to help him. Wes pulls out his beam sword and clashes a few times with the Gelgoog before taking down the final mobile suit. Wes says, "Watch your backs on the battlefield. Don't and you're dead." Eliard felt invincible with his new team. May UC-0088, the Federation Forces JAG Bureau. Comrade stares out at the Nevada base to see desert wastelands. It comforts him and reminds him of the lunar seas. Post-Operation Stardust, this area of North America is a wasteland after the colony drop. He meets with a superior officer, Commodore Eddie Southwell, who is in charge of the Earth Federation Forces Legal Affairs Bureau. He hands him a bunch of files to choose from. Of course, Comrade chooses Eliard's case. Eddie believes that he is a lost cause and the best they could do is reduce his sentence. Conrad wants to take on the case and prove his innocence. Eddie explains that he is a young man at just 27 years old. There were rumors about him within the Federation forces. Several charges were listed. However, the most severe one involved his actions during the struggle with the colony laser between the AUG, the Titans, and Axis. Comrade was a former mobile suit pilot during the One-Year War and received an injury in his leg. He piloted a GM Early type during the Battle of Solomon and was forced out of his cockpit. He now requires a cane. Conrad was a military man through and through. He can't get a job in the private sector, so he used his time in the military to enroll into law school. Do you think EFF has a GI Bill? He eventually became a lawyer and transferred to the Legal Affairs Bureau. He became a great lawyer throughout the years and always took on the hard cases, so this is no different. The Commodore has sat behind the desk throughout all of the wars and never seen any real battle. He is a chicken hawk with an inferiority complex, very bureaucratic by nature. Regardless, he allows Comrade to take on Eliard's case. May UC-0088. Comrade goes over the charges. The first crime is his involvement with the Colony 30 incident. If you remember in Zeta, Rekawa and Emma had a conversation about the incident on Side 1 Colony 30. This was the first time G3 nerve gas was used to kill everyone in the colony and caused anti-Titans organizations like the AUG to rise up. The second charge was for dangerous conduct during a mobile suit test flight. He essentially did a Top Gun flyby and was detained for a week for his actions. This is a past incident, but this crime is being called back into discussion. The third charge is desertion during the Grips 2 colony laser battle. Desertion is an automatic death penalty, though this is the first time anyone is actually getting charged for it. Amado and Shiro got away with it. Everyone runs away. It is a Gundam cliche at this point. The fourth charge is the destruction of a prototype mobile suit, which happened during his third charge. He mentions the new Decides and the uprising on Pazoon, which solidified the downfall of the Titans. We really need to cover Gundam Sentinel. After this, along with the Colony Laser incident, EFF slowly began regaining authority by flushing out Titan remnants. Slowly, they started the court-martial process for all captive Titans. Eliard Hunter is one of these people. Comrade is certain that he could work with most of this. But desertion and destroying a top-secret mobile suit is going to be a tough one. All data has been declassified, but no data exists about this prototype mobile suit. He is going to have to talk to Eliard directly. July UC0085. Murphy's team was ordered to rendezvous with a transport and escort them to Side 1. Their current base of operations is on Comrade Island, formerly Solomon. Captain Otto Peterson of the Comrade Island Defense Forces tells the team to watch out for terrorists and pirates on Side 1. Eliard watches as Commander West launches in the Hazel, which has extra experimental armor added to the unit. This is the full armor Hazel. The RX-121 1 FF-X29A Gundam TR-1 Hazel-Rah full armor is the full armor mode with the Hurdudu pack added. We haven't talked about Hurdudu, so let's break it down. The FF-X29A G-Parts Hurdudu is a support fighter developed to work in tangent with the Hazel. This unit can function independently as a support craft, but this takes inspiration from the G-Fighter and can of course dock with the mobile suit. Independently, this is equipped with a claw unit which has a beam emitter, beam reflector shields, and a long blade rifle. He is conducting a mobile suit test on this new upgrade. Carl launched in the GM Sniper 3 and Eliard in the GM Type C High Mobility Type. The RGM-79CR GM Type C High Mobility Type was initially developed as a test machine to see whether or not they should adopt it for use, and it uses the original Type C as a base. The backpack contains improved thrusters and a high-performance sensor. Also, vernier thrusters are added to the calves. Weapons include a beam saber, Vulcans, the GM2 beam rifle, and a shield. Audrey remained on board the Aswan. They notice enemy mobile suits approaching planetside, and Carl begins sniping while the other suits rush in. One mobile suit is too fast for Carl. It is a Zaku 2 Kai. Eliard is able to focus in and destroy the Zaku. Wes is struggling to pilot Hazel with the extra armor. He runs into a mobile suit that looks like a fusion of the Gelgoog M and the Rickdom. More on this unit later. Eliard is able to scare off the unit and save Wes Murphy's life. July UC0085. The Murphy team was successful in escorting the transport ship safely to Side 1. Captain Peterson doesn't waste time and gives them their next mission. They are to support Basque with rear support. The Hazel won't be fixed in time, but Peterson tells them of the new Hyzacs that they just received. Murphy heads to the hangar to see the new Hyzac pre-production type. The YRMS-106 Hyzac pre-production type is the opposite of the prototype Hyzac. The prototype version is a state-of-the-art Hyzac, where the pre-production type is a testbed for mass-producing the Hyzac. Many of the improvements of this model can be found in the Hyzac scene in Zeta Gundam. These units have panoramic cockpits, but will change to traditional cockpits when mass-produced. It has a shoulder shield and a beam rifle. Eliard saw that Wes didn't really complain and just kind of went with his new orders. He starts adapting the same attitude as Wes. And that will do it for our introduction to Advance of Zeta. This was relatively tame, but the mobile suit designs get way out of hand the further we go along. But it is nice to see what happened to the Titans after the Grips conflict. You assume they would be committed for war crimes, but it is nice to see a story that shows this. Next time, Comrade and Eliard finally talk to one another. Even though this plays with time and they already technically met, shut up, we learn more about Captain Synapse after the Delaz conflict. Also, Eliard will pilot the Hazel too. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, the Titans had so much money to make amazing mobile suits, but instead took the money for their own use. You get the cheap Hyzacs, and I get more money in my bank account. Deal with it. Peace.